Okay, in the words of Robert Anton Wilson, from a lecture about his book, The New Inquisition, and I'll probably link you to the video if I can get around to it.
The same thing applies to parapsychology. For over 100 years, in over 1,000 universities now, all over the world, parapsychologists have been doing research on ESP, as it's called. I don't know whether it should be called ESP or we need another name for it. But there are mountains and mountains of this research, and you get these runs of people guessing cards correctly at an incredible rate, way against probability. And the response of the fundamentalist materialists is to repeat their mantra again. It was only a coincidence, it was only a coincidence, it was only a coincidence. And that's how all of the data for ESP, precognition, clairvoyance, and so on, is disposed of. It was only a coincidence, it was only a coincidence. That is only occasionally varied with it was sloppy research technique or somebody was cheating.
And some people say that there's no taboo against psi. Just think about it. Just think about those words. You know, it's true. What this guy's talking about is in fact a fact. There's this phenomena, or set of phenomena, which is investigated, results of sorts within or beyond statistical probability are generated consistently, frequently. And people carry on saying it's only a coincidence. Well, how can it be when you've got your meta-analysis, and your meta-analysis points to the fact that there's something else going on here? Hi there, that's right, it's Nick Dodge. I'm back on the camera again. It's 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm totally stark naked. And I'm going to do a video about magic, and I hope my naked torso gives you a great deal of pleasure. Magic is something which is very difficult. I've been watching a few videos out there on the internet recently on the subject of magic, and I'm not sure whether they actually help or whether they actually hinder people's understanding of what magic is really about. I mean, people have needs, and sometimes they take to the occult or the paranormal to try and find a solution to their needs. The result is not necessarily quite what they had taken in, what they actually wanted to try and bring about, which is often fascinating. There's a small percentage of my customers who call me not just to find out what's going to happen in their life, but they're calling me because they feel that there is some kind of solution which is more likely to manifest itself if I tell them what it is. And these can often be very serious situations that I personally would not call another tarot reader about. I try and find other solutions to the problem. And so need and desire, and the right quality of need and desire, has got to be put into perspective. I would say there's a difference between need and desire. People get into magic because they want to try and manifest a desire. Well, maybe you could do that, but could you take a need and then also bring that need into fruition? To which the bottom line would be probably not. I've seen lots of videos out there which say that god-awful phrase which I hate, namely, magic works, it works, do it, go home and do it tonight, it's going to work for you, yeah. Which I just strongly disagree with. I mean, I've done chaos sigils, and I've done the rituals and the rest of that to try and give myself good health, and hey presto, nothing happened. Or I've tried to do a chaos magic ritual or whatever to cure myself of insomnia, and hey presto, nothing has happened. Some people say, well, try and find something which is easier to obtain, or something which is going to be more likely to get the results that you're after. Well, if it was that likely for me to get the results that I'm after, why on earth would I want to go through the time and energy and possibly even financial expense of getting together everything I need to be able to do a ritual, and then doing it? what would be the point? Surely it would be easier just to put the right circumstances into effect and take responsibility over my life, so I'm more likely to bring about the change. But there are some things which have happened to me which makes me feel that either there is some potential hypothetical interconnectivity of minds throughout the world, or alternatively there is some action of consciousness upon outcomes which might possibly otherwise be random, and to try and get that into perspective. So maybe it's not just a question of needs and trying to fulfill a need, such as I need a meal, I need, I'm starving and have no money, how am I going to get a meal together, that sort of thing. It's not a question of, my God, my health problems are terrible, I've got to get these things cured, I need a cure, or I need it to be cured. It's much more a question of, I'm going to go to a conference at some point, and in that conference I want to meet someone who's going to provide me with the right quality of advice that I actually need for a business that I'm currently working on. That would be probably much more likely to take effect. Also, operations which are designed to have an influence upon your own behavior seem to work quite nicely. I did a long, drawn-out prayerful ritual in which I asked for, so to speak, a much stronger immune system. And what I found was my buying habits changed spontaneously, not just from buying cheap food so I can get money together for my tax bill, but to buying the right quantity and qualities of vitamins and minerals and health food. And hey presto, as a result of that, my health has improved. And I seem to have developed a marginally better immune system, which is, of course, quite a positive outcome, and something which is good. It's not something I would normally do because I'm terrified about paying off my tax bill. So, the financial expense has actually worked out according to plan. But on the other hand, I've been able to stay up later and longer, and I've been able to do more hours worth of work. And so I'm more likely to be able to get the quantity of money in that I need to be able to do my tax bill, as well as to have a reasonable quality of health in the meantime. Could that be attributed directly to the operation? Well, the dramatic change in my expenditure did not occur until after I'd done that particular ritual. That's all I can say. Direct correlations or direct causation, that's a little more difficult to say, but essentially a interesting occurrence occurred, and all I can do is just sit here and tell you precisely what that occurrence was. On the interconnectivity of minds things, well, if you follow the procedures of doing astral projection in visualization and meditation, and you try and go and visit somebody in a dream or in your meditative state, and the meditative state is deep enough and the concentration is tranquil, focused, and good enough, some strange things can occur. No, it's not reliable, but yes, some strange things do occur, and to a level of result of sorts which will seriously make you stop and wonder.